Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to another Shabbos. It's amazing how quickly it's going, and it's great to be back with you again. For those that are joining us now, it's an honor to be back with you. And every single week I end by saying, from me and mine to you and yours, this week I want to begin with that, because this is a very big week, both for the Jewish people in general and for me in particular. And they're both giving me almost the same lesson that I want to share with you. This week we're celebrating, thank God, a bar mitzvah for our son. When you are making a bar mitzvah for a boy who has been planning his bar mitzvah since he was 10, and until a few months ago, he didn't even know what quarantine meant, it looks very different. And I'm sure there's lots of people that are listening that are going through this in different ways. And one of the things that my wife and I are experiencing right now is something fascinating. There's a concept in life, which is sometimes in life when you lose something, you gain a sensitivity in something else. If somebody loses a sense in one thing, he gains a sense a little bit more acutely in another sense. When someone doesn't have something, when they're pushed against the wall, they develop a muscle that they couldn't have developed before. In life, there's really two ways in which we operate. There's the external piece of who we are, and there's the internal piece of who we are. There's our body, and then there's our soul. True joy comes from our soul. But the body and stuff also feels good. And one of the things that I'm experiencing right now that I want to share with you as my Shabbos afternoon family. By the way, I think we're taking pictures right now. I told my wife I'll be right back in a minute. So if I disappear, you'll know why. No, I'm just kidding. One of the things that I have noticed from all this is that although the breadth of people that we're able to celebrate with clearly went down, we're doing it through Zoom, we're doing it through other places, the physical presence of family and friends have gone down. In many ways, the gifts, the signs of appreciation, the things that people have done, the comments, the conversations, we're realizing that what you lose in breadth, you can gain in depth. And a bar mitzvah, although it doesn't have the same amount of people, even my son at 13 is seeing that there's a certain inner joy you can have when you make it as exciting with less, when you see the love of people that have to do things beyond for you. The physical world around us sometimes is so busy, and we're so distracted, and we're so stimulated by the outside world that we forget to go deep. We forget that the true joy that we have really is on the inside. And these are the moments. And we're almost done with God's help. You're feeling it wherever you are. I hope the light from the end of that tunnel is coming closer and closer to you and your family. But as we leave, we can't lose this lesson that when you have less physical, it's not less, it can be much more, because you have the ability to burrow into a deeper hole that allows you to tap into true depth, to have things that are deeper. And that's what this weekend really is about, not just for my family, but for the entire Jewish people. Because this weekend on Friday, we're celebrating the holiday called Yom Yerushalyim. Today is the day that we remember the time in which Yerushalayim was returned. We never really lost it. Jerusalem isn't just another city that happens to be ours. The connection that we have with Jerusalem is so much deeper. The connection that a Jew has with Israel is so much deeper. It's not just the physical land. It's something that's inner. It's something that taps into us deeply. Every year I have the good fortune of going to Israel with a whole bunch of great guys. And it's every year it happens that somebody walks up. It's more than one. It's at least a dozen guys for every trip. They walk up to the Western Wall. They walk into the old city of Jerusalem, and they look at me and they go, I don't understand something. I have never been to Israel in my life. Why does it feel like I've been here before? If I were in any other country, I would feel like a tourist. Why don't I feel like I'm an outsider? And I would say to them, yeah, on the outside, this place is different. But in the depth of who you are in your soul, this is your homeland. This is your soul's connected to this place. The depth of Jerusalem is why we love it so much. It's not just another city. It's our city, no matter where you live. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you've never been there before. Don't matter, because spirituality doesn't work that way. And that's the depth of Shabbat. That's where we are right now. Shabbat's not just another meal that takes place on Friday night. It's not that at all. It's something different entirely. Shabbat is this moment where we are grappling with the outside world, but our interaction with it is much different. It's much deeper. The food, if you're tasting it, is a little bit different. The company, the family, the air. It's just a little bit different because we're tapping into something real, something spiritual. And that's why we get to do this. That's why we're here together. And I hope that as we move past this phase in our history, which I hope we do really soon, I hope we don't stop spending time together on Friday afternoon. And I hope that we don't lose the lesson that true joy comes from the inside. And as I increase the outside, I got to take that lesson with me, and that everything that I have should be deep. All my relationships and my interactions and the stuff that I have, it shouldn't just be the things that distract and stimulate. It should be the things that I'm deeply connected to. And that's our charge. That's our lesson. We don't go back to normal. We're not going back to normal. We're going forward to greatness. This happened for a reason. And hopefully we're getting it. Hopefully we're getting a piece of it. We can't figure it all out, but we're getting a piece of it, and we'll take it with us this weekend for our Shabbat, for Yom Yerushalyim, and for our family, for our personal simcha, which I'd love to share with the rest of you. We've got an awesome show. We always have an awesome show. Do you know why? Because we've got an awesome cast. The Project Inspire team rocks, and they work so hard all week to make sure that when you tune in on a Friday afternoon, it's got so much content. And today we've got a lot. And we got some new segments. Of course, we've got our Kahoot game coming up a little bit. You can guess the theme for this week, and it's not my son's bar mitzvah. We've got an awesome power lineup. The chief rabbi of South Africa, Rabbi Warren Goldstein, will be delivering a message to us. Rebbitzin Mimi David of I think she's of St. Louis. She's coming up. Counterterrorism specialist named Steve Garr is coming up as well. And we're going to have Jamie Geller is coming up. And we also have a live performance with Sam Glazer. And this show is dedicated in the merit of Refuah Shleima for Kathy Basara, in the merit of thousands of us tuning in and praying for her. Kathy Basara should have a speedy recovery. Before we go to our first message, I want to begin by reminding everybody about the awesome program coming up that has been going on. You should, if you haven't signed up yet, you should. It's the one-on-one learning program. This is an incredible program that people have been taking advantage of. Here comes the screen share. Thank you, Lauren. This is and the ad is different this week. So in case you've been tuning in week after week, we get to continue to stimulate you with different ads. This one is even nicer as it gets more and more. It's a great opportunity. Learn what you want, when you want, one-on-one learning, pick a mentor and learn. What could be better than that? Just sign up here. You can WhatsApp the number on the screen. You can email one-on-one at projectinspire.com. It is not, you're not gonna regret it. Other thing is that Shabbat guide. Don't forget that. A great companion to any single Shabbat table. You should look it up on projectinspire.org. Download the Shabbat guide. Now we've got this great opportunity to be on with a real icon in the Jewish community. I've had the opportunity to go down to South Africa. About 2 years ago, I spent a day there. And I got to tell you something. South Africa is not a very large Jewish community. And I walked into a room and there were 5,000 Jews. And I turned to someone and I go, how in the world did you get 5,000 Jews? You don't have the numbers for this. I mean, you have more, but the percentage of Jews in one place. And he looked at me and goes, that's easy. Rabbi Goldstein. The chief rabbi, Rabbi Warren Goldstein, he's a luminary. He's a revolutionary. He's a visionary. He is, if you ever heard of the Shabbat Project, that came out of his work in South Africa. He's an individual that is constantly thinking about the Jewish people, both in South Africa, but in the world at large. He wrote an incredible book. about ethics, about morals, and he's individual speaking to him, meeting him, seeing what real greatness is. A person who cares about the Jewish community so much. It is my honor to present the message from the Chief Rabbi to all of us today.
One of the most special experiences in life is to receive a gift, a present, when someone gives you something. You know, that moment on your birthday or an anniversary, whatever it may be, a special occasion, when someone who really loves you gives you something which is special. And it's about the expression of love, and it's about the experience of receiving it, and then it's about the experience of using that incredible gift. God loves us, and He gave us the most special gift, which is the gift of Shabbos. And it's the most wonderful, wonderful gift, because it enhances and makes our lives so wonderful and so beautiful that life without Shabbos is almost unthinkable, because it's a time when we can be with our family. It's a time that we can be with ourselves. It's a time that we can be with God. It's a time that we can step out of the urgency and the fragmentation of life with all of its demands and really reconnect with the people who are most precious in our lives, reconnect with ourselves and reconnect with God Himself. And we do that in a way which is filled with beautiful food and clothes and the most incredible experiences, physical and spiritual and emotional, with so much joy and so much an opportunity to savor, to truly to live. That is what makes it so special. And it was given to us because God loves us. You know, that feeling that you have when someone gives you a gift because they love you. God loves us, so He gave us this great gift. And it's really, you know what God is saying to us? It's like God saying, I want you to take a day off. Don't worry about your work. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about the stresses of life. Don't put everything aside. Have wonderful food. Enjoy it. Wear great, beautiful clothes. Spend the time with the people who are closest to you. And for all of that, God says, do that and I'll reward you. Reward you in this world and the next. Reward you in your life. He just gives us this incredible gift. And you know what? When we realize what a gift it is, then we can truly enjoy it. And that's why the idea of welcoming in Shabbat is so important. Kabbalat Shabbat, it's to welcome it in. It's that moment where we prepare to receive Shabbat. And that receiving the gift, you see, if you just have the gift and there's no build-up and there's no anticipation and there's no sense of, wow, this is so awesome. And that's what I really want to congratulate Project Inspire, Rabbi Samson, the entire team for this incredible initiative, that week after week, preparing with people, getting ready to receive Shabbat, and having that sense of the anticipation of this gift. Because especially at this time that the world is going through, this time of uncertainty, this time of challenge and of anxiety that people are feeling, and the time of pressure, we need the gift of Shabbat more than ever before. And so let's enjoy, let's savor, let's welcome the Shabbat into our homes. Let us make our homes a hospitable, warm place for Shabbat, and the light and the warmth and the beauty of Shabbat will fill our homes, will fill our lives, and we will truly benefit from this magical, magical gift. And so I want to wish you all from the bottom of my heart, Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos.
Thank you, Chief Rabbi. You know what I love about listening to that? First of all, I happen to love him personally as a human being, as a rabbi, as a leader. I love the fact that he can be in South Africa right now, and he's just like me and you. He's preparing for Shabbat. I love that he can say words from a different part of the world, and they're just as relevant to me, to you, to all the people from all over the world. It's such a beautiful testament to our nation that as far apart as we are, we're all very much the same. And I want to just do a couple of Shabbat Shaloms down the list here before we get to our wonderful family out in Toronto. To Michael Bear, Shabbat Shalom, thank you so much. Ken Salkover from Skokie, thank you again. Leah Mazdov, thank you, Leah. Chana Miller, Shabbat Shalom. To Svi Sittner, Rabbi Sittner, the great Rabbi Sittner we had a couple weeks ago, for those who missed him. Thank you very much. To Deborah Pearl-Weiss, to Debbie, thank you so much, Debbie. We appreciate it. Shabbat Shalom. To Hillary and Lawrence Hess in Fairlawn, Shabbat Shalom. To Debbie Weiss again, Esther Heller, Shabbat Shalom. To Rifki Tyler of Baltimore, Shabbat Shalom. Hope I'm getting everybody here. Tayav, the Carfunkel family again, Shabbat Shalom. To Leah Peril, Shabbat Shalom. And to my good friend, Superstar Guy Orman, Shabbat Shalom as well. We'll get to some more later. But for right now, let's go up and wish a Shabbat Shalom to a wonderful family in Thornhill. Welcome the Gendelman family to the show.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, you guys look at this. This is the best.
Got the whole family together for this.
This is the best. Hi, guys.
Hi.
How we doing?
Eliana and Aaron back here.
Amazing.
I'm Ed and Sophia here.
Awesome. So, nice to meet you guys. So I want to ask you guys a question. You know, as we said earlier in the show, there's always something sweet to everything bitter, right? If you look for it. And I understand that when the virus hit and people started to lock down, you guys decided to take Shabbat into the next level. Tell us a little bit about what Shabbat has been for you during this period of time.
So I'll start. We've been, we always have been trying to do Shabbat, but life gets in the way sometimes. And the quarantine put us in quarantine to put everything aside and start Shabbating on a week-to-week basis. So that's what we've been doing every Friday night. Friday evenings, we've been preparing. It's a whole day preparation that we've been involving the kids in, from baking the challah to setting the table. And it's been really something that we look forward to and our kids started looking forward to. And we've been doing it pretty much week to week for the past 9 weeks since we've been in quarantine.
Incredible.
And it's been a phenomenal experience for us.
Incredible. Incredible. Anyone, kids, what's your favorite, anyone can answer. What's your favorite part of Shabbat?
Go ahead, Leon.
Okay, you go.
Eating.
Challah.
What about you?
Oh, by the way, you win. That's exactly you nailed it. Everyone's favorite part of Shabbat is challah. So you got that awesome. And any message?
They really do look forward to it. They're just a little shy on camera right now.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. They love getting dressed up. They love to, personally, I just like the fact that we're all sitting around the table and, it's just the time to kind of finally reconnect with the kids, because, it gets really hectic during the week. And this is a perfect time, and we don't really have to rush anywhere. Go anywhere because we don't even know where to go.
Yeah.
That.
Amazing. Well, guys, thank you so much for being on, and thank you for your words. And kids, you're so lucky to have such great parents. We wish you guys Shabbat Shalom. We should always be able to connect in a deep way and to be able to celebrate together. And thanks so much for who you are. And I know that you've got an incredible rabbi. I know the rabbi that you have very well, and his unbelievable.
Rabbi Mandel, woohoo!
Rabbi and Rebbe Mandel are the best of the best, and Thornhill is one of the greatest communities in the Jewish world. So thanks so much for being on, and we really appreciate it. Shabbat Shalom to you guys.
Thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
And this is the beauty of us and our people, and it's so wonderful. I want to wish a couple more Shabbat Shaloms to some people here, but as we continue on to Jan's son, Shabbat Shalom to you, to the Simons of Phoenix. Shabbat Shalom to the Simons. I think the Simons of Phoenix, by the way, are Phoenix in Kahoot. I think that's what it is. When you see Phoenix killing it every week, I think it's a Simon. Simon's, tell me if I'm right or not. Aria Mack of Passaic, Shabbat Shalom. To Esther Heller, Shabbat Shalom. To Jean Golden, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. To Esther Heller. Let's go now. We have the next part of our program. This week is Yom Yerushalyim. It's a big, big day. It's a big day for the Jewish people. We got a beautiful video to play for you guys on Jerusalem. So I'll turn it over back to our Superstar Project Inspire team to get us this beautiful film on Yerushalayim.
אנחנו יושבים על הרכב שצופה אל העיר העתיקה. אנחנו נהיה הראשונים להיכנס אליה. לנוע אל השער.
אנחנו הולכים ומעמיקים לתוך העיר העתיקה.
אוויר הרים צלוק היין וריח אורני נישא ברוח הארבעים עם כל פעמונים ובתרדמת אילן באבן שבויה בחלומה העיר אשר בדד יושבת ובליבה חומה ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור עלו לכל שירייך אני כינון ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור עלו לכל שירייך אני
Wow, it's hard to come from there. What an honor to be part of this nation. What an honor to have that as our eternal capital. That voice you heard, by the way, is none other than Sam Glazer. He'll be on with us later in the show. We'll get to talk to the voice behind that beautiful video. Shabbat Shalom to Rivka Miller from Toronto. Shabbat Shalom to Hillary Block. Thanks so much for your kind words. Shabbat Shalom to Henya and to Lily. To Rachel Goldstein of Muncie. To the Black family from Toronto. Shabbat Shalom to you guys. We have a great segment on right now. Steve Gar is a friend of Project Inspire. They call him the Jewish Jack Bauer. He's a counter-terrorist specialist. He's actually his unit that was called on. If you remember a few summers ago when those 3 boys went missing, it was his unit that they called to try to find him. Not only has he such incredible experience in the world of counterterrorism, he's actually studying right now for his smicha to become an ordained Orthodox rabbi. And he's a director of a wonderful institution. It's called Or Torah Darkenu Yeshiva in Israel. It's a yeshiva for students of men with special needs that couldn't go and spend the gap year in Israel. And because of this yeshiva, they could. And here we've got this great excerpt of a Yom Yerushalyim event that he produced. And this is it's a benefit for his special needs yeshiva, the Or Torah Stones Yeshiva Darkenu. To see the full event, go to ots.org/returning home. That's ots.org/returning-home. And here is the clip from this wonderful event.
Charlie Harari, thank you for those inspirational words as usual. Unbelievable. Guys, my name is Steve Gar. I'm joining you from the land of Israel at the central command of the Gush Etzion, the Chatmar Etzion. I know a lot of you through Project Inspire, maybe you've heard me give a talk. Many of you maybe have done this very tour of the Gush Etzion, this area that I'm so passionate about. It's going to be an honor to share with you how important the Gush Etzion is in the Six-Day War in 1967, how important it was for us to recapture Yerushalyim, to get back our homeland, to get back the soul of the Jewish people, Yerushalayim Yer HaKodesh. Thank you for being with me. I look forward to spend more and more time with you guys, and hopefully when this terrible situation of the COVID virus is finished, you guys will come back to the land of Israel. We can tour not just virtually, but actually see how beautiful the land is. Stay safe, everybody, and I hope you enjoy the next couple of minutes.
ושבו בנים, ושבו בנים, ושבו בנים, ושבו בנים, ושבו בנים לגאולה.
Remember, in 1948, this area would belong to the Jordanians. The Jordanians burnt anything down to the ground. So we reconstructed this German monastery. Below us is the actual bunker where the Jewish defenders fell when the grenade hit the floor, and that was the War of Independence 1948. Let's understand where we are. South of us in that direction is Hebron, the second holiest city in Israel. That way to our north is Jerusalem. The modern highway connecting them is the main highway, road number 60, the tunnel road. A small portion of the ancient highway is still intact just behind Alon Shvut. Behind us is Alon Shvut. Remember, in 1948 there were only 4 Jewish towns that existed over here: Masuot Yitzhak, Revadim, Ein Tzurim, and the main one where we're standing right now is Kfar Etzion. For 19 years this area lay desolate. But 19 years later, in 1967, in the Six-Day War, the children who lost their fathers in these hills returned. They came back. Remember, they were yearning to go back to that lone oak tree. Just next to, behind where I'm pointing, there's a forest. In that forest, you'll be able to see the lone tree. It's no longer alone. There are other trees with it, which is very beautiful and symbolic. Their dream was to return to that tree. Their dream came true when the children of Kfar Etzion returned home to these hills, the Judean hills. To return is Lashuv, an oak tree. Now the symbolism of this oak tree, that this was the central meeting spot in 1948 for the 4 Jewish towns. Some of these children have memories, sitting under that oak tree having a picnic. They remember swinging on their branches. They swore one day we will return to our oak tree. An oak tree in Hebrew is called an alon. To return, lashuv, shvut, alon shvut is returning to the oak tree. If you look just to the right of that forest area, you will see the city of Alon Shvut, created by the 60 orphans coming home. This area is very beautiful. Over there is the yeshiva, the Hesder Yeshiva, where they combine serving in the army and learning Torah. I got very emotional in my Sheva Brachot. I studied in this yeshiva. I was married in Yerushalyim, a boy from South Africa to a young lady from Canada. But our Sheva Brachot were over here. My emotion was when sitting at Sheva Brachot, my friends, my family singing the beautiful verse that I'm sure you all know: Od yishama b'arei Yehuda u'v'chotzot Yerushalayim kol sason v'kol simcha kol chatan v'kol kala. One day you're going to be hearing the rejoicing of a bride and a groom. Where? In the Judean hills. I'm sitting next to the most beautiful bride in the world, and we're singing and rejoicing. This is a prophecy coming true. We are living the words of the prophet. V'shavu vanim ligvulam. We are coming back to our own homes. The children will return to their homeland. This was due to the fact of 1967, the Six-Day War, when we returned back to our homeland. Where our fathers have fell, the sons are returning. Remember, as we discussed coming into the Gush Etzion, David HaMelech, King David himself, was born just down the road in Bethlehem, Beit Lechem, Beit HaLachmi. He was born over there. He was a shepherd. Down underneath in the bunker, we talked about Psalm 130, Kuf Lamed, and we said from the depths they called out to Hashem. It is very possible. David HaMelech, a shepherd, was sitting on one of these terraces. While his sheep were grazing, he was composing some of the Tehillim, some of the Psalms. We're in a very special place. You know what gives me so much joy is to see and hear their grandchildren, some of them great-grandchildren, playing in these hills. The men and women who gave their lives defending this area in 1948 now have their great-grandchildren playing in the fields, in the parks. V'shavu vanim ligvulam. Our children have come home. I'm so happy that you were able to join me in this spot on such a special day on Yom Yerushalayim, that you are able to be here with us, celebrating, being in Eretz Israel. There are ups, there are downs. We have sad times and there are happy times. But what's so beautiful about the family of Am Yisrael is that families stay together when times are good. But family are there together when times are tough. People who care come closer. Thank you for being close with us during this very special day at this very special spot.
Thank you so much for those words. His heroism is beyond us, and it was just so nice to be able to see him there, and the messages will most definitely ring true for us. For those who haven't yet, go to kahoot.it, download it from the App Store. We're about to play the Kahoot game, so we'll give you 10 seconds to just get ready to roll, pull it up. I know it's getting competitive out there. I've been hearing about it. I've been hearing the chatter in between the weeks of the winners. We've got some real huge players coming back. So I'll give you 1 minute to get ready while I wish Shabbat Shalom. Here it is. Here's the game pin for those who are www.kahoot.it, or you got the app, one or the other, the computer or the app. 421-6787. Oh, the Sittners are playing. I think it's the Sittners. It says the Sittners. All right, while we do this, while we start seeing who's the Carfocal families, it's going to get right. Phoenix, Arizona's back. Phoenix, Arizona really produces. As we do this, let me just say a couple of Shabbat Shaloms. The Chaya to Suzanne Myers, Shabbat Shalom from Suffern Rockland, Leah Bassett, Shabbat Shalom to you, to Richard and Leah, to the Hirsch's of Fairlawn, Shabbat Shalom to you, to Leibowitz family, Shabbat Shalom to you, San Jose. Thank you very much for the Mazel Tov, guys. Shabbat Shalom to all you guys. Yes, I knew it. We've uncovered the famous Phoenix family who has been so dominant these past few weeks. Keep it coming, everybody. One more minute as all the players line up. A couple more Shabbat Shaloms. To Lawrence and Hillary Hess, Shabbat Shalom. Pam and Jim Lykin from Cleveland, Shabbat Shalom. Waterloo, Shabbat Shalom. On my Facebook, to Ricky Weinstock, Dorian Hausman, Shabbat Shalom. Basi Weiss, Alana Perlin, Shabbat Shalom. Patulski family from Waterloo, Ontario, Shabbat Shalom. I think we're ready. Okay, let's play. Here give it a minute. People are still logging in. 1 more minute. Less than a minute. 30 more seconds. Rana Adler from Fairlawn, Shabbat Shalom. Ellie Cohen, Shabbat Shalom. We're very proud of Mimi. And the whole David family is awesome, and we're going to get to them in a minute. Okay, we're about to get started. Let's roll. Okay, guys. I know people are St. Louis just pulled in. Here we go. 4 questions. Number 1, the Medrash tells us that there are 70 names. Medrash says the Jewish lore, if you will, or part of the Torah. 70 names for Jerusalem. Which one of these is not the names of Jerusalem? Which one of these is not the name of Jerusalem? Yerushalyim, Zion, Moriah, and Palmach. Which one of these names is not a name mentioned in all of the Torah for Jerusalem? That's in all the different parts of Torah. One of these is not Jerusalem related. 4 seconds left. Do what you can do. 2 seconds. 1. Let's see how we do. Good. That's right. Palmach is not one of the names. Yerushalayim clearly is Zion and Moriah. Okay. Very good. Let's see how we're doing so far. Let's see who our winners are. Let's see who starts early this week. Shlomo's coming in. Shaps. Winner of Muncie, Victor, and A&S. Okay. For those who are out there, don't get discouraged. This game moves quick. All right. Let's go next. You got to play. Who built the first temple? King Herod, King David, King Solomon, or King Hoshea? First temple. Herod, David, Solomon, or Hoshea? Got 10 seconds. 6. Here we go. Very good. Lots and lots of answers here, but it looks like we'll be having a mix-up. Let's see what the results are now. Shaps comes. Hey, I knew it. Did I call Phoenix, Arizona? S.A., Phoenix, Avigdor, and E&E. Okay, Shaps is still pulling strong. Let's go. 3rd question. This is a 4-question game. For some people, what year was the old city of Jerusalem liberated? 1948, 1973, 1967, or 1991. These are all years where Israel was in military conflict for those who are familiar with Israel's history. 48, 73, 67, 91. Let's see what we got. The quicker you answer, the more points you get. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay. Most people got this one right, but let's see how this all shakes out. Shaps retains the lead. SARM. Okay, E&E and Phoenix. We got the leaderboard going into the next question. This is the last question. This celebrity was born in Jerusalem. Got to put some Shira Haas, Natalie Portman, Zac Efron, or Matisyahu. Little pop culture in there just to mix it up a drop. You see how we go wide. Military history, Torah, pop culture, you name it, we got it. Shira Haas, Natalie Portman, Zac Efron, and Matisyahu. 9 seconds left for the final Kahoot game. We got presents for you. Make sure you email Project Inspire. They'll get you all the presents. Here we go. And the winners. Ooh, Natalie Portman. Okay, you're going to see a mix-up in the final tally. Here we go. Here it comes. I'm excited. Shaps comes in third. Great performance. Who's in second? SA. And the number one is E&E. These are new individuals coming in. E&E. Runners-up of Phoenix pulls in the Carfunkles. Awesome performance, everybody. Congratulations for all the people that played. Fun stuff. Email Project Inspire, and they'll get you some gifts. Time to go to St. Louis to visit with an incredible family, the David family that I know well, family that I've had the honor to stay by multiple times. Rabbi David and I have been to Israel many, many, many times. He's an incredible guy, and his wife is even greater because every time you see anybody, the wife is always the best. Rebbitzin Mimi David is an incredible educator, a person who has really inspired so many people in St. Louis and all over, and it's an honor to have her on the show. Rebbitzin Mimi David, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Charlie. And Mazel Tov, Charlie, to you, to your son, from all the Davids, not just me, but Yosef and all of us. It's really a special moment. I think it's your first bar mitzvah, right?
My second.
Second. Okay, but everyone is awesome.
Everyone is the first, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Our pleasure. I wanted to share an idea that the sages teach us. Our sages teach us that the human soul is the candle of God. The human soul is the candle of God. And to understand what that means, I want you to picture a scenario that for sure all of you have been in at least once. Some neighborhoods do this more often, unfortunately, than others. And that's picture a blackout in your house. Okay, there's a blackout in your house, and it's not just in your house, it's your whole block, right? The whole place. There's some power line down, there's an outage. You're not gonna have power for a day and a half, and it's just a mess. Okay, and so during the day when this happens, it's manageable. You know, you have some light from outside and you can see what you're doing and you can get, you can get where you want to go. But as it starts to get dark, it gets dark not just in our houses, but it gets dark outside. And the kind of darkness in your house during a power outage, when it's also dark outside, is different. Like you could feel it. It has a total, because there's no light from outside. There are no street lights. There are no house lights. It's just everything is dark and thick, and it's a yucky feeling. And then you take a match and you strike it and you light one candle. And it is unbelievable how that one little candle can suddenly change your whole situation. It makes everything manageable. Like there's enough light to see and you don't feel like you're being closed in. One little candle just dispels a tremendous amount of darkness. It's actually a Hebrew phrase that we say, a little bit of light can get rid of a tremendous amount of darkness. And that's how our souls are. Our souls do the same thing. Picture a time in your life that was dark, right? Like you're going through a challenge, or maybe you had a heartbreak of some sort, or maybe even now in COVID-19, maybe you've been quarantined and maybe things have been challenging and difficult. And somebody reaches out to you. They reach out to you with a kind word. They really listen. They really listen when you speak. They buy you your favorite chocolate bar. And suddenly that dark time in your life, it's not so dark anymore. It becomes manageable. Right? It's the little acts of the soul. Those little acts of the soul can really bring a tremendous amount of light and of goodness in our lives. So that's one way that our soul is like a candle. A little candle, a little soul gets rid of a tremendous amount of darkness. But there's another idea also that I think is really cool. And that's the thing about candles, that you take one little candle and you can light as many candles as you want with that same flame, and nothing will happen to the original flame. it will stay as bright and as strong as ever. Line up 1,000 candles, as many as you want, and just keep lighting them and lighting them and lighting them, and the original candle will never go out. It will never be diminished. It will never be lessened, even though it's giving. And isn't the human soul the same? Aren't our souls the same? We give, and when we give from our soul, we never lose out. If you learn something and you're so inspired by it and you share it with someone else, not only do you not lose out, I believe you gain. You become even richer from it. If you teach somebody something and now their life is different because of that, you gave from your soul and you didn't lose out ever. If you give good advice, somebody comes to you and they have something going on and you're really good at helping them. That's giving from your soul. That's like being a candle. You never lose out when you do those things. So I was thinking about this and I said, you know, I think this is probably one of the reasons that when people light their Shabbat candles, they light a candle for every member of their family. You can see mine right here. I got a whole bunch. I got a bunch of kids, thank God, and a grandson. And when you light those candles, what you're saying is, you and I, all these people, we share a soul. We give to each other. We take care of each other. We bring light to each other's lives. That takes away some of the darkness. And when we give to each other, we never lose out. We just gain from the experience. So today, when you go light your candles, all of us, we can have in mind a little prayer. If you have a husband or a spouse, a wife, or you have children, you can think of them. If you don't, think of all those other people that you share your soul with, that you share your life with. And for each one, say a little prayer as you light a candle, and thank God. Thank God for the goodness and for the warmth and for the light that you bring each other into your lives. Shabbat Shalom from St. Louis. It was great seeing you all, and have a wonderful Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you so much. It's so true what she said. The ability for one little candle to inspire so many. I can tell you personally, the small little moments where people are doing small little things for us in this simcha for our family. We'll never forget it. There's no words. Small little candles can light up big dark rooms. Right now, we're up to the segment with Jamie Geller, our partner, an inspiring individual who is really a cooking sensation. There's a great video we're going to post right now on Jamie Geller, and we'll be able to talk to you a little later about how to stay in touch with Jamie and all of her great things.
Thank you, Charlie. And hi, everyone. What an honor it is to be back with your cooking segment and really just to be part of your pre-Shabbat inspiration. We are overwhelmed by the warm and loving feedback we got for this segment. So here we go again. This week we are celebrating Yom Yerushalyim and the upcoming holiday of Shavuot with an Israeli dairy mashup. Now, Shavuot is typically celebrated with dairy delights, cheesecake being the culinary symbol of the holiday, but you do not have to stop there. So we are taking falafel, stuffing it with a cube of cheddar cheese, and oh my gosh, this may start a revolution, but we're ready for it. Now, if you don't want to go that far, you can just follow along the recipe, omit the cube of cheddar, and you'll have classic Israeli falafel. What a great way to celebrate Yom Yerushalayim. So, wait till the end of the video. It's short and it's quick, but there's a cheese pull that will have you licking that screen. Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, that looks good. Honestly, gotta make sure I forward that video on. For those who want to see that video again and for more videos from Jamie Geller, please go to jamiegeller.com. She's got Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok at Jamie Geller and at Julish by Jamie. Very important. I said earlier in the show for us to daven, to pray for the speedy recovery of a woman named Kathy Bassar. If everybody could really take this on, especially as you light candles this Shabbos, say an extra prayer to God that Kathy has a speedy recovery. Put her in your thoughts. Every word that we utter goes into the ears of the creator of the universe. We don't appreciate the power of our words. So please put Kathy Basara in your thoughts and in your prayers today. As earlier in the show today, you saw a beautiful video by about Jerusalem, and the voice behind the video was a man named Sam Glazer. Sam has been using his voice to inspire and to enlighten and to bring joy to so many for so many years. And it's an honor to invite Sam on the show. Sam, welcome to the show.
Great to be here, Charlie. Can you see me all right?
We can't see you yet, but I'm sure
I don't know.
We got you. We got you. So I understand, Sam, that you got a little song for us. I know that Jerusalem is strong in your heart, and I know that you were in Jerusalem for the first time. What was your first experience in Jerusalem?
Well, thankfully, my family decided that all four brothers would have their bar mitzvahs in Jerusalem. So that was pretty important and pretty intense. And then when I had the opportunity several years later, it was actually about 9 years later, to go study at Aish Torah, I was on the first Jerusalem fellowships they ever did, which was a long time ago in 1985, learning hour by hour in what was the former Beit Midrash of Aish Torah, gave me so much intensity and information about my heritage, and a lot of life and light. And I recognized that the key to joy really lie within my own faith. And there was no need to tour the world or check out ashrams in India. It really was all present for me. And of course, after that, I made sure that my family got to have the same experience, and I tried to get my parents involved and sent my brother Yom Tov over at some point. And thank God we got two of my brothers are now rabbis, and we're all doing our part to make the Jewish world a better, more committed place.
Amazing. What a great story. Look at the impact that one person that can have, the impact that your brothers are having. One candle, as Rebbetzin David said, one candle can bring lots of life. And you're clearly bringing lots of light. And I know you got a song for us, so please bring us into Shabbat with your music.
Excellent. So this particular song is called Dancing in Jerusalem. It was a popular YouTube video and was on my album, The Promise. And it talks about the joy of return, about all the generations in the past 80 years or so that have come back to Jerusalem and made it their home. And by the way, you can read more in The Joy of Judaism, my new book. So thanks for sticking with me till the end of this program, and I hope you enjoy this. This is Dancing in Jerusalem. Yeah. God will fulfill your heart's desire, take you to the place you want to go. Keep dreaming of the land of your history, and we're walking the streets before you know. On wings of eagles they took to the skies, not sure how this magic carpet would fly. Cries of joy and the first shalom, 50,000 Yemenites coming home. My heart is dancing in Jerusalem. 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 Next came Ezra and Nehemiah, redeeming our brothers of Babylon. 2,000 years in the shook of Baghdad, soon every last soul would come along. Though it seems impossible to achieve, Morocco's Jews were the next to leave. Every pillar on the temple of Solomon, hear the sound of French ringing through Zion. My heart is dancing in Jerusalem. That's right, my heart is dancing in Jerusalem. My heart is dancing in Jerusalem. My heart is dancing in Jerusalem. Soon we'll be dancing in Jerusalem. The whole world dancing in Jerusalem. Yerushalayim ircha v'rachamim tashuv ve'tishron ve'tocha kasher dibarta. Shut Israel watched from off from the tribe of Dan in Ethiopia. Slipping through the borders of the Sudan, we crossed the desert to reach their land. We'll march for the rights of refused Nakim to help them realize their Aliyah dream. After 70 years of living hell, see the celebration when that curtain fell. My heart is dancing in Jerusalem. 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 Soon we'll be dancing in Jerusalem. The whole world dancing in Jerusalem. Your heart is dancing in Jerusalem. Time to come home to Jerusalem.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. It's so true. We will be dancing there, and thank you for bringing us in dancing into Shabbat, Sam. An honor to have you on. Pick up your book one more time for those who want to get your book. It's called The Joy of Judaism. Check that out. Sam, thanks for what you do. Thanks for what you bring to the world. Thanks for the light that you bring to all of us. Shabbat Shalom to you and yours.
Thanks, brother.
And that's it. We're going to wrap up now. For those that want to tune in, remember that right now there's a 6:35. There's the streaming live 5th Avenue Synagogue Kabbalat Shabbat. Check that out. The Zoom link will be on right here. I'm sure you got, there it is. Yehuda Green, Kabbalat Shabbat with the 5th Avenue Synagogue. For those who want to sign up for the one-on-ones, please do so. It's really, this is the time. Get it in now. And of course, please download the Shabbat guide. And I wishing you a Shabbat Shalom. I mean, these are the moments that, like I said, this is my favorite time of the week. You can almost feel the change, you feel the depth coming into our lives. And I hope and pray that this Shabbat, as we get closer and closer to the end of this, it's so important that we make decisions now that define the depth in everything that we do. Hold on to the moments where we know it changed us. If there are things that we got during this period of time, we can't let it go. We can't go back. Just recently, I was talking to someone who passed by to wish us Mazel Tov earlier. They said, a lot of the schools were canceled, and a girl's going back next year for her next year. And she said that on the plane ride home, all of her friends said, we want to go spend a little more time in Israel. We want to be able to go back and complete our experience. And they got home, and after being home for a couple of weeks, they said, nah, it's okay. The ability to hold on to inspiration is hard. The ability to continue on when everything goes and things change is hard. And I hope that we stay that way. I hope that we take from what we're learning, we take the good, as we saw from that wonderful family. I hope that we take the good. The Gendelman family taught this to us. They wanted to make a change, they did, and they're going to hold on to it for a very long time. And what Mimi David said about that candle, or Goldstein said about having the ability to spend time and being a gift from God. These are the moments, being an inner person. These are the moments, digging in to find the joy on the inside of things, the inside of our lives, the spirituality, the intimacy that we have with our family around the table, the intimacy we have with God, the quietness that Shabbat brings us, the wisdom, the menucha, as they say. And I hope it's something that we have now. I hope it's something that we'll have forever. And I hope we get to do this until we get to dance in the streets of Jerusalem with Mashiach. And I want to just wish you, from me and mine, to you and yours, there should be a Shabbos filled with light, tranquility, wisdom, depth, pnimiut, spirituality. You should see things as Shabbos that you may not have seen before. You should feel things as Shabbos you may have felt before. You should connect in ways you maybe not have connected before. The Shabbos should be the best one yet, and every Shabbos afterwards should only get better. So on behalf of our family, Shabbat Shalom. And with God's help, we look forward to seeing you again next week, but hopefully after dancing together in the streets of Jerusalem. Shabbat Shalom.
We together, call it I do. Whatever you generation. They take one, raising the haters. Then I shim hit the pavement, blazing the savers. Then the world asks where they went. Patience are faithless. The Torah gave the whole world a facelift. If hatred is baseless, we take it, erase it, and exchange it for that master goal. We don't forget wherever we may go. There is only one place we know, and it's called Zero.
Pieces and you're just falling down, falling down. I pick you up, and if you feel like you're outnumbered on a battleground, and you hide